What's up, everybody? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be here at the After Show. It's been a minute since I've been back for the After Show, and I can't wait to get into this episode. Joining me today, we've got, of course, Abe. Abe, how's it going?
Oh, you know what? I'm back. Season 50 is here. Always enjoying Survivor. When you get to see the island that you played Survivor on, it's always cool. So no complaints. Now I'm with the ladies tonight. I ain't got to worry about Bruce. I ain't got to worry about Josh. It's just me. I'm with it. And I got the two. That's why I got the two tonight, because I knew I was going to be with you ladies. So go ahead.
Yes, you got the best crew right here. I'm so excited about it too. And I can't wait to talk to you. It's been a minute since I've talked to you. So I'll be interested to hear your takes tonight. Joining us today also, we've got Avery. Avery, it's also been more than a minute since I've talked to you. How have you been?
Good. Obviously, as all of you guys watching know, I took a little bit of a break, but I'm back for season 50, better than ever, and I am so excited to be back. I was watching the episode today, and I was just like ready to be back on the show. So it's gonna be a good night.
Yay, absolutely it is. It's gonna be a fun one, everyone. So as always, feel free to add comments in the chat. We'll try to get to questions and things like that y'all are putting out there, but we're going to get into the episode. So we start the episode with basically Kyle's goodbye. And then we see Q saying that he needs to rethink his plan. And Kyle was a big part of Q's plan, and now he's gone. So he decides to pull in Rizzo. Abe, I'll start with you. What do you think about him choosing Rizzo to pull in out of everybody else?
Rizzo is probably a very nice person in person. I've never actually met him. I'm thinking he's probably just that exciting of a person in person. But playing the game of Survivor, Rizzo leaves a little bit to be desired. You'd be like, and Q was like, Rizzo is lazy. Coach is thinking, not coach. Kobe is like, hey, we got to pull somebody in. Kyle is gone. I think that's going to impact a little bit down the road how their actual tribe dynamic changes, because Kyle was going to be an intricate part of keeping Q and Genevieve and everybody kind of on the same page. So now that with him being gone, we're going to see how it's going to work out. I don't know if I ought to pull Rizzo in. I'm just not I don't think Rizzo would have been like my first choice. And as Rizzo presents his game, he's like, oh yeah, man, I came in a little hot, but now I've settled in. And then you cut to Rizzo ain't doing nothing. So
I did love that. That was such a fun little contrasting moment or something like that. I don't know what to call it. But Avery, what do you think? If Rizzo wasn't the person to pull in, who do you think would have been the right person to pull in?
Oh gosh. Honestly, I don't know. It's a weird situation just because you don't expect, obviously Kyle was probably going to be a really big part of it, and you don't expect for somebody to just get injured. That's not something that you can predict. So I understand in a sense of what they were thinking, but at the same time, out of everyone, I mean, he's just such an interesting character, and I like Abe said, it was an interesting little twist to just go from that, and then he's just sitting there oh, I'm not doing anything. I didn't come here to do chores. I came here to cut throats. Yes, okay, cool. You want to play the game. That's great. But at the same time, you are literally out on an island. You have stuff to do. You're by yourselves out there. You're not getting 5-star meals every night and staying in a hotel. You have to put the work in. Otherwise, you're they said, you're next. That if you're not doing anything, you gotta go.
Right. No, 100%. And I'm with you both. I get, Avery was saying, there was sort of this need to, as soon as possible, pull in another person so that they could keep that majority going, but maybe sit on it for a little bit and figure out if he, not only is he the right person, but who is he anyway? Because nobody's seen his gameplay. So, I personally would want to be more of an observer, but also, like I said, I get the urgency behind it all. So I thought it was interesting. It was an interesting way to start the episode, and I'll be interested to see where it goes from here, I guess. But then we also get a very funny moment, and that's really all it was. It wasn't gameplay. It wasn't anything else. We get Christian pooping his pants in front of Joe. Okay, y'all, I thought that Christian like saw something and like froze. I don't know, like maybe he just like didn't know what to do. That was my first impression. I was like, oh my gosh, what kind of advantage does he see? Or like, what does he see that needs to be done? And then it became obvious that it was something more dire. Did we think this was funny? Were we like not into it? Like, do we think that
I was cracking up. Honestly,
funny.
I was laughing. I was like, oh my gosh, I could not imagine that me being on TV and that happening to me. Oh my gosh.
Well, the good thing was your ocean is right there.
Yeah.
I mean, we get our briefings before we go, what our options are anyway. It's just that, we're adults. And if you're talking to somebody and you'd be like, oh, wait a minute, I'll be right back. he was like, I gotta go talk to a man about some pants. That diet program on Survivor is something on your system, boy. It's a whole different ball game.
Oh my God.
Don't put it past nobody.
It's so crazy. You know what? I don't think we've seen anything like that in 50 seasons of Survivor. And I do personally find it like pretty refreshing to see like not gameplay, not anything like advantage finding. Like it's nothing to do with Survivor. It's just like a moment that is hilarious. And so I'm glad they included that.
I feel like it's always like the real, like raw, like moments, whether they're funny or like emotional or whatever. I feel like they always make the episodes better because like as like a huge fan, like obviously I love the gameplay, I love watching challenges, but it's also kind of nice to see those like goofy, funny, like, or what happened today, or like just like different little things that like you don't see every single episode of Survivor. So
right.
I mean, if it was up to us, there would be a lot of other unedited stuff that we would actually put on TV. I mean, because we do some funny stuff and we want people to see it. So when you only see the the serious gameplay or that, it's kind of like it's refreshing. But they gave him some minutes. He didn't get like the quick, okay, we're just gonna cut, because Joe was there having a ball with it. He was like, he said, I think he gotta go. So
no, I loved it too. I thought it was, like everything that y'all said, I agree, basically. So yeah, we get that. That's the beginning of our episode. And then let's fast forward to the reward challenge. Okay. So lots to talk about here, but the very first thing that kind of happens is, the very first thing I guess we should say is Camilla is visibly super upset about Kyle. They have this really kind of like raw emotional moment where everyone is hit with this news that Kyle got medevac and the game becomes so real because they're like anything could happen. But then we get Coach who decides, I need to tell everybody how it really went down with Ozzy in that challenge where we were trying to win supplies. Avery, in this moment, were you team Coach or team Ozzy?
I'm always team Ozzy. I don't care what anybody. I will die on that hill. I will be team Ozzy forever. I mean, even just like being able to watch him again is like such an amazing experience. And I mean, Coach is gonna say what Coach is gonna say. I'm on Ozzy's side.
I think that that's very true. Coach is gonna say what Coach is gonna say. Abe, what about you? Like, what were you thinking? Like, did you like this moment? Were you like, oh, Coach was in the right, Ozzy was in the right, nobody's in the right? What do you think?
So I had a chance to meet Ozzy, I think my year one when I played, and I met him out in LA. And I've met him quite a few times since then. Great guy. Never met Coach, so I can't say anything about actually meeting him. But here's the thing about it is sometimes you got to let a situation be that situation. And right there, it was Kyle. Kyle was leaving. Jeff was like, hey, Camilla, she was emotional. She played with Kyle, and that was going to be somebody that was going to be an intricate part doing the merge, I would say, for her as well. But also, I mean, we're all friends. And to go out from an injury and then stop all that. We don't care nothing about Kyle. I need to tell y'all what I did on the challenge. I'm like, you kind of petty. That's a petty move, that you want the attention that you did something petty and you want people to know you didn't do anything petty. So for the banter back and forth between him and Oz, good for TV, but it was like this was Kyle's moment to say, hey, we're gonna miss Kyle. Unfortunately, because we do get hurt. And you may not get hurt to get better back, but you get an ankle hurt, your knee hurt, all that stuff gets hurt while you're out there playing those challenges. So I know how you feel, but coach was like, no, 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 no. I need to tell y'all that I'm still the coach. I'm still playing honorably. Coach, we saw episode 1. What what you think we didn't look at? So we saw how you played episode 1. It's like, did you forget they taped this? So to me, it was kind of like, coach, save it for another day. But some Survivor has pettiness in it. That's why we look at Survivor, because some petty moments. But it was petty. That was a petty moment.
Yeah, for sure. I also kind of had that same thought where I'm like, this is a quick turnaround on Coach's part to immediately start talking about how Ozzy cheated him in the challenger. Not cheated him, but like is talking, running his name through the mud and stuff like that. And it's not true. That's not how it went down. Yeah, I was like, this is a quick turnaround. We were just like crying about Kyle. Now, obviously, like there might have been more conversation being had before he brought that up that like got cut. But yeah, I was with you in that mindset, Abe.
But here's the crazy thing about Kyle. So I'm in New York for the premiere of the challenge that Sydney played on last season.
Okay.
Kyle is there. He's there with the boot on. And I'm like, hey man, what happened? He's like, oh man, I had to get my Achilles worked on. I was like, okay. Didn't even put the two together that he had already went out, got filmed, and got hurt. And I was like, oh, okay, Kyle, man. Because I had the same, I had a toy, he had full surgery. I had a tear, but we still all get that same boot. And I was like, man, don't worry about it, man. You be out the boot before you know it. So it's interesting that I was like, oh, wait a minute. I didn't realize he got hurt on the show. I figured he got hurt somewhere, but I didn't know where.
I think he posted something on social media too, and I was reminded of this when he got medevaced, and I clearly had forgotten about it up until that point. But I think he posted something on social media where he was either like on crutches or in a boot, like you were saying. And I think he posted, and maybe I'm imagining this part, but I think he said at one point, like, oh, it wasn't game related, like I got hurt or I had to get surgery like after the game. I think he put that on social media. I don't know if that was like a mistake or like he didn't mean to like put it out there like, hey, I'm hurt, and like people could be speculating. But clearly it didn't really matter because I wasn't expecting him to get better.
Honestly, I don't think like anybody was like even like putting 2 and 2 together. Like I feel like everyone's so excited for like 50 that like I don't know, like I follow Kyle on social media. I've had a few conversations with him. He's a great guy. And I literally like I see everything he posts. I don't know. I didn't realize anything.
Let me go back to my Kyle picture.
Same. Or I like I said, I forgot about it. So I guess whatever. Like I think I knew something too. That's what I'm trying to say. But we obviously all weren't thinking about it. But yes, we get that trash talking, like Abe said, good for TV. And that's really about it. It was just like a funny moment. And then we get to the reward challenge. Abe, what did you think about this challenge? Did you like it? Were you neutral? What do you think?
I like a good challenge. And I thought this was a pretty good challenge. I like when we get a chance to see just the competition and competing. And I like to see when somebody falls or somebody fails, not get hurt, but because some people can't swim, which is kind of interesting to me sometimes. But we see a challenge where I kind of automatically pick Jonathan because I've seen Jonathan in the pool. Nasir, when you ever see Nasir again, ask him about Jonathan in that pool. But I want to see them compete. So for me, it was a great challenge. Now it's a challenge that we've seen before. But now we got 50 players coming back. And we're going to hear about it. We got Ozzy with a possible bad back. We got older players playing again, and I want to see everybody see how they perform. So for me, I love a good challenge like that. And diving off that, it's not low, not low. So the jump off, hit something, grab it, swim. I would have took the part where you had to dive down and got the rings. Less work.
All right. We know what your strengths are now, and I'll keep that in mind for when we go out there together. Avery, what did you think about this challenge?
Sit on the bench.
I liked it. I mean, you've seen it before. I'm with you, Abe. I'm a Jonathan stan forever. I love him. I was in Nashville and just standing around, and I just feel this presence, and I turn around and like I look up and like mind you, he like towers over me. Like he's a big dude. And when I found out he was coming back on 50, I was like, he's gonna do real good in these challenges. And I knew for this one too. I was like, mm-hmm. But my one thing about it I thought it was kind of funny with the edit, that was a little odd, is that Jeff just goes, D has not surfaced yet. D has not surfaced yet. Like and then it just pauses and like completely skips over anything that relates to her, and like we didn't really see that much more of it. And then just like goes to like John. I think it was Jonathan. Maybe it was somebody jumping in,
Well,
but
you're right, Avery. We didn't see Rick Devens. We didn't see Christian. We didn't see D. So I don't know where they were at
he
or what
mentioned her
part.
when she was. I think she did the rings, and he mentioned that she hadn't surfaced yet.
Mhm.
When I think Jonathan was jumping in, off the thing, and then they just like completely skipped over it. And I was kind of like, that's an interesting way to do that. Okay. I don't know. I
No,
just thought it was odd.
100%. No, that's such a good point. And I actually didn't write that in my notes, but I thought about it and I was like, are we gonna get another meta back? Like,
Yeah, I
is
was like,
she
No.
okay? And then
why is she?
I mean, I hope she came up eventually. I think she did. She was at the next challenge. But
I
yeah,
think
it was so
Stephanie was the one
funny
that
he
fell.
never came back to it.
Stephanie fell on the balance beam, but everybody else pretty much. I think Avery, which is not Arbery. The funny part about Arbery's edit, it's almost like she's not on her tribe.
Right.
So we only knew she didn't perform because she missed it the first time. Now here's
Mhm.
it. This ain't funny for sake, but when you miss that thing the first time, ain't no but water to meet you. And it's like she just fell in the water. Boom. I was like, that might have hurt. So
Yeah.
then you got to climb back up there again and you got to hit it again. So
Mhm.
it's always entertainment for TV when they miss, and she missed.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, Vatu does not win reward. And to add like a little salt to Aubrey's wound, it seems like when they got back to camp, everybody was suspicious of her and wanting to go through her bag. And it was because she was being precious with her bag. Now, Avery, what did you think about this whole moment? Like, did you enjoy the moment as a viewer and as a Survivor player? I'm wondering what role you would have played. Like, would you have been the spy? Would you have been the person searching the bag? What are you doing here?
I 1000% would be searching through that bag. Like, for sure. Like, I'm looking through every nook and cranny. I'm not missing anything. Pockets, like, any in the shoes. I'm looking everywhere. I would 100% look through the bag. I thought it was just like a funny little moment. I mean, I love when they go through each other's stuff. Like, and like they said, like this is like in the outside world, this is like you cannot
No.
do this. Like this is personal property. Like you're not going through my stuff. But on Survivor, it's enjoyable. It is definitely enjoyable. And I do find it, I like how they did it, like kind of having people in different places so like no one was suspicious of things. I enjoyed that. I liked that.
I'm trying to see. So Arbery was really the only one left out on this one. You know, yeah, I mean, in the game of Survivor, and if you looked at the previous season, yeah, you're gonna check somebody's back. Um, which is interesting, but Arbery's edit was like, I don't know what's wrong with these folks. I'm just here. I can't figure out what type of gameplay or what type of approaches they're using. Now, the passing around of the bad coconut, I'm not really sure what that was all about, Genevieve, because you know when a coconut ain't good. I'm not really sure, and everybody else kind of co-signed that it was a bad coconut, but it almost like Aubrey is on this tribe, but she's not really fitting in right now. So
Mhm.
this is going to be kind of interesting as we go to the next couple episodes, how she kind of fits.
Absolutely. Yeah. I felt for Aubrey for sure. I get the sense that she's feeling defeated already. And I think that she's a person that feels this sense of defeat pretty easily when she's like, especially in the game of Survivor. I mean, I only know her from Survivor, but I get the sense that she feels that way kind of
Mm.
easily when she knows that she's already not on top, right? Like we saw her kind of crack in Korong. Like that was one of the first things we saw from her. But then she got stronger and she kind of like found her footing and did really well that season. And a lot of people thought she was going to win. But in 38 in Edge of Extinction, fast forward a little bit for her, she like was really suspicious of people, and then she was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and trust them. And then she got sent to Edge of Extinction fifth, like she was the fifth person voted out. And so I don't know, like I get the sense that when she's not on top, she either gets paranoid or she like really, really feels down on herself. And that's what we're getting this season. So I do feel for her because that's gotta be obviously a negative feeling on any season of Survivor, but especially when it's more people that feel like they're against you. Like these are bigger tribes than what she's used to in, well, I guess like she was on a 2-tribe season in Edge of Extinction, but these are bigger tribes than a typical 3-tribe season. So I'm feeling for her. I did enjoy like that whole moment as well of them going through her bag though. And I thought it was funny. This is fast forwarding a little bit too, but I thought it was funny that they found nothing. And so they're like, okay, we're good. Aubrey's, a safe person to vote out. She's got no advantages. And then she finds the boomerang idol, or she gets sent the boomerang idol. So we'll talk about that in a minute, but I enjoyed that whole like juxtaposition in a way. I guess it's not really that, but anyway, I enjoyed that.
Hold up, but you know something else is cool? That with returnees, you have flashbacks to put in there from their seasons. So when they flashback and showed Aubrey, it's like, it's a long time since she played. So I think Aubrey needs to have somebody that she's going to be with to kind of balance her. And on that tribe, I just don't really see who it is because we got Kobe with Stephanie, we got Q with Stephanie and Kobe. Rizzo is a wild card, so I'm not gonna put Rizzo with anybody. And Angelina, was she in this episode?
They were like, Q was talking about her being a statue. That's where all got.
You got problems.
I don't know what Angelina's deal is though either. Maybe some of you can speak on it. I think she's trying to be a lot quieter, and I think she's a lot more self-aware than she was last time. And I think she knew that she kind of like came off as a know-it-all the last time she played, and she sort of rubbed some people the wrong way, did her whole negotiation thing. I think she knows how people perceive her, and I think she knows that that obviously didn't win her the game. I don't know. What do you all think of like Angelina right now?
I mean, I get like what you mean, but at the same time, I mean, it's like the same thing with Rizzo. Like, don't sit around and do nothing. Like, even if you have like, there's so like everyone has played, and like everyone has that one thing that everyone knows about them. Like Jonathan and Ozzy, they're really, really, really good at challenges, and like everyone knows something about everyone. But like, if it were me, like I'm not gonna like use that and like completely try to like change myself and step away. Like you still want to be like playing the game, you still want to be talking to people, you still want to like try to be a part of things because you can change people's minds on what they think about you. Like if you don't let them like get to know you, like you didn't play the game with this exact tribe before, just because you played it before, it wasn't the same people. So like, put some effort in, like try to get out there, like
Let me tell you something. It's irritating when the fire's gone and people just sitting there looking at it. It's like, okay, you saw the fire going out. I mean, because the way it's set up is they don't give you firewood. You got to go out there either on the shoreline where you see debris has washed up, or you got to go out into the woods and either chop something or find something that's dead. So there's work to be done. So if you want to get voted off Survivor, just don't do nothing. And somebody be like, well, they're not doing anything at camp anyway, so it's not a great loss. So you want to have your little role. If it's keeping the fire going, let that be your role. But getting wood and all that kind of stuff, yeah, and getting coconuts. Coconuts is crazy. They're not sitting right there where you can just kind of say, oh, I'm just gonna reach over and grab me 4 of these coconuts. No, you got to actually go get them, and then you got to bring them back. You got to open them up. I just think this tribe either is gonna super implode or they're gonna be the best tribe ever.
Absolutely. Well, we will see what happens with them. But last thing about Aubrey, going back to that really quick. I know we kind of started talking about Angelina as well, but with Aubrey and hers, she was feeling down on herself. They go through her bag, and then she gets this boomerang idol from Christian. My question, I'll start with you, Abe. Do you think Christian made the right choice? And if not, who do you think would have been the right choice? And if so, why do you think Aubrey was a good choice?
Here's the crazy thing about this boomerang idol. I'm kind of warming up to it. I'm kind of warming up to it because I'm like, okay, you have to give it to somebody that you think might get voted out so you can get it back. So Christian must be knows something, or he feels something and said, okay, I think they were going to get voted. She would get voted out and I could get it back. That is the only way it works. I've yet to see where somebody goes to an immunity challenge or a reward challenge, be like, hey, I'm going to send you the boomerang idol. And if we merge or we swap, then we can come together and use it. I've yet to see that be an option, because right now, everybody that's received it don't know where it came from.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to get there and figure out, hey, if I merge or we combine, I can go be like, hey, I sent you the boomerang idol. Or you can plot against them to vote them out because you know they got the boomerang idol. So I think she's a good player. I think she's going to use it the right way, because right now she doesn't have any allies. On her tribe right now, all we see is Genevieve, Kobe, Stephanie, Q, and Rizzo working together. So she's basically by herself. And Angelina, I'm not really sure who she's with. So I think for this right here, I like that Kristen sent it to her. I just don't think Kristen's going to get the same result that Genevieve sent hers to Ozzy. I think that's going to be a different result. So I think I like it because it goes to somebody else. So I want to see how they play it. So I think Kristen sent it to a person that you thought was going to get voted out, but I don't think she's going to get voted out.
Avery, what do you think?
I agree. I mean, I think I understand why he sent it to her. No complaints on that part, but I do agree with Abe, and I do think like she's gonna use it. I think that I think she could definitely save herself with it if people get to the point of like wanting to vote her out, just because she is a little bit of an outsider at the moment. But I do find it's a really interesting twist. Like I don't actually hate it as much as like I thought that I did. I was kind of like, like I don't know if I love that. It's like, oh, Billie Eilish. Okay, like, all right. Love Billie Eilish, but also like what that got to do with Survivor? I don't know. But it's not a bad idea. I kind of like the little twist of it, because like you're like, oh my gosh, I found an idol. Oh my gosh, and then you open it and it's like, yeah, so you got to send this to somebody else.
That's a
so
bummer.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like if it were me, I don't know who I would have sent it to, honestly. I probably would have been like Genevieve. I probably would have sent it to like Ozzy or Jonathan, just because like once it's closer to the merge, like everyone's gonna be wanting to get them out.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think a couple things about this whole situation. I think everyone's sending these boomerang idols to somebody that they think probably has a target on their back or might be one of the names in people's mouths on like who to vote for. And so if that person does get voted out and they are correct in that read, then yeah, great, they get it back. But I think people are at the same time choosing someone that, while that's also the case, they are also a person that they might want to work with down the line. Now, the other thing that's interesting though about the boomerang idol is these people that are sending them might want to down the line like work with who they're sending it to. So like Christian might be like, Aubrey's a person that I feel like I can vibe with. I might get along with her. Feel like we'd be a good alliance. But once people find out what this boomerang idol is, the people that have them are going to be like, well, this person did this not to like give me an advantage, but because they wanted the idol back. And so maybe they just want me out. So I feel like that could cause some tension too. So if people make it to the merge with these idols and with the people that gave them these idols, that could be a really interesting dynamic. So
well, I think the only people know that comes back is the people that give it. So that means right now we got Kristen and Genevieve know that those persons get voted out, their idol comes back.
Right, but I'm
it.
saying like once word gets out about these idols, so obviously they're the only, like Aubrey doesn't know that it comes back to them right now. Ozzy doesn't know it, but once once maybe they come together at the merge, like they might talk to people that know that that was the case. For example, like Aubrey might talk to Stephanie, who knows the rules of the boomerang idol, and she's like, listen, if you get voted out, that idol is going back to Christian. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
I mean, it's going to be interesting how it actually gets played.
Yeah.
I hope that it's not the only type of idol that's available. I hope it's because if they're doing it saying every tribe gets one, we're still missing one. Mm-hmm. So one of the tribes still hasn't found it, which is kind of crazy because people think that you just find idols walking through the woods. No, you have to be looking for an idol.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what I feel like you've mentioned that, Bruce has mentioned it. So many people that have played Survivor talk about that. So it definitely like looks way easier than I'm sure it
Look at
is.
you on TV, it does.
Yeah.
I was all up in the woods. I was in the woods. I was on the cliff. I was like, man, it's got to be an idol somewhere. But I think for our season, they didn't put the idols out until after the first vote out, because Xander literally found the idol on the same path that we all walked on. So it's like, where was it at? I definitely would have saw that on the tree, but it's not as easily found in a jungle where, I mean, you find yourself looking in places you be like, well, it might be an idol and it's brown. So when y'all go on Survivor, look for little cubby holes and just don't put your hand in there because it's crazy stuff still on the island. But it's not a 15-minute fine.
Absolutely. Yeah. I feel like people would be crazy to believe that it is at this point. So yeah, good luck to any Survivor player that goes out there and believes that they're gonna find an idol immediately. But anyway, we see just like this is more of a minor moment, but we do see prior to the immunity challenge, Jonathan goes out fishing, he's catching fish, he's being the provider, and coach decides to go out with him too and ends up with two cramped up legs. And what happens after that, which I wanted to bring up, I'm interested like people's perception on this whole thing. Like what we see after that is Chrissy giving him like a little bit of a massage, like checking in on him, and everyone's like, I'm so annoyed with Chrissy, like she's being too much of a mom.
Mm-hmm.
My take on that is like if it's a guy trying to take care of somebody, it's perceived a lot differently. Like if a guy's doing so many things around camp and like hanging up people's clothes and catching fish, they're like, oh, they're the provider. They're like, you know, doing so much for us. Then Chrissy's doing what she can for the tribe, and everyone's like, she's annoying. So do we feel that way? Do we feel like Chrissy needs to back off a little bit? Like, what do we think about that whole thing?
Well, let's back up to Coach being in that water. Here's the thing: you overexert yourself playing. Because when I went and got the bamboo, because I was building the shelter, both my arms cramped up,
Oh no.
and I couldn't bend them. I couldn't bend them, and it's just the worst, most painful feeling. And it's like I can understand, I can empathize with Coach on that one and not being able to swim back in because you think you're good, but you're really giving up a lot of energy to swim out there. I'm not swimming out there. First of all, that water gets deep quick, and I'm like, and the ocean's constantly moving because the way that Fiji's and the islands are set up, there's a seawall they built because they don't want the natural ocean to come directly in. So it's nice and beautiful on TV, but Coach, you was about to drown out there when they pulled that little boat up. I was like, oh, now we saving people on Survivor? What's going on here? They have to boat him back in. Yeah, we have to boat you back in because he was gonna drown out there because there was no way he was gonna uncramp because his electrolytes and stuff were gone. And that's what happened on the show. So you got to be careful about that. Now, her helping him feel better, I'm all about that. I look, you're in such pain from your muscles cramping up, but Coach is older, Charlie is not. So you got to kind of say, if you got some kids or some nieces or something or nephews around that same age, you got to be careful on Survivor how you approach them because they may accept it like, oh, well, you trying to tell me what to do? Well, you're not my mom or my aunt or whatever. No, I'm just saying that you need to go do this. But it's a dicey thing. Her helping Coach, for me, I'm all about it because I know what that pain feel like.
Absolutely.
I agree. I mean, I agree with you on that aspect, especially because like saying like Charlie's younger. Like I'm as somebody who's 20 years old and like I have more than one job. Like it does happen. Like you will have like somebody older than you and like you could be in any like experience, but like mostly like workplace or something like Survivor, and like you immediately like think like, oh my gosh, like they're trying to be my parent, like oh my gosh, and it gets annoying, like it really does, and it's like for no reason at all, because like me personally, like I know like okay, like it's not her fault, like she's just being who she is, like she's just trying to be helpful, like whatever, but I completely feel like why like somebody like Charlie would be like, oh my God, why is she being such a mom right now? Like, I'm just trying to play this game, like, leave me alone. So I get it on that aspect. But I also do think like I don't think it's a big deal that she was helping out coach. Like, I mean, if somebody's in pain, like I would feel bad for them too. Damn, like I wouldn't want that to happen to me.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I mean, you all make some valid points. I do just think it's interesting that, and we saw this in also season 38. I feel like I'm talking about that season a lot this episode, but in season 38, Reem was the first person voted out for the same things that Chrissy is doing. It's like she's just trying to help y'all like hang up your shorts and like looking out for all of you. Like that's not really a reason to vote somebody out, but I guess if you're looking for anything, I digress. Anyway,
We
yeah,
petty on Survivor. That's a good reason. Survivor is a petty game, so that reason is just as good as any other reason. Because Dee was like, yeah, she's being real annoying. Charlie like, hey, she's being real annoying. But then we don't get anybody else that co-signs on that. So,
it really is like I feel like the age difference and just like I don't know, like if I were to like go out on Survivor a month from now, like I would be like, hey, I'm getting away from my parents telling me what to do all the time, and then somebody would be like, oh, sweetie, like, do you need help with this? And I would be like, can you leave me alone, like, for 5 minutes?
I mean,
Like, I'm here tonight. I'm not trying to have a mom out here. Like,
because you don't have anything else to do. Like at home, you got your phones, they got obligations and stuff. On Survivor, you're just on an island with each other, and it's like then you're gonna know about your family, you're gonna know about your habits, your dislikes or whatever. So every day in Survivor is like 3 months in the real world. So you're gonna talk about everything on the first 3 days. I've been there 5 days now. So you're gonna either talk about everything or and then coaching them to play before. Like everybody's played before, but they played years before. And I think one of them is 54, I think coach is 53.
Yeah.
So he's like, hey man, we didn't see the part that he said he in pain. Can you help me? All we see is Chrissy helping because it fits into the narrative.
right.
But
That's
it's different when you go out there and play. You just kind of balance it out because we had younger players.
Mhm.
JD was around 20 at the time. I think it's 2021. Sarah was early 20s, and then we had 30s, and then we had 40s, and we had 50s. But athletically, Mike White got everybody beat this season. That's over the age of 45.
honestly, he really does. He really does.
Mike White winning.
I do feel like though, like even like not even in like the some people playing like paternal roles out there. Like I do feel like you said, like you talk about everything so fast that I feel like it is so easy to get irritated after that and like get petty with people because like you finally process like, oh my gosh, like I have nothing else to do but sit here with these same people every single day 24/7. So like I get like I mean I've always said I would be like Michaela, like I can't hide my face for the life of me. Like there's no saving me once I get on Survivor. I am going out there and like day 4, I'm cooked. I'm fully I'm gonna be out there like looking at people like when they
The
say
crazy thing
something
is,
a little funny.
Michaela is the nicest person you ever want to meet, but her resting face, she'd be like, I'd be like, hey, Michaela, what's up?
You can't always help it. You can't always help it. Nobody
I can't help it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a big thing. I don't think it's going to be a vote out thing with that tribe. I think that tribe is a little more of a, well, first of all, Charlie not running nothing. So, and at this point, D not running anything. And those are the two that were complaining about it. So I think that with Coach and Jonathan's connection, Mike White ain't getting no edit right now because we need to know Mike White was at camp this episode. Was he even in camp? He was at the challenge, but I don't think he was in camp. So
he showed up once or twice. He checked in on Coach, I believe. But I mean, yeah, you're right. I don't think the Chrissy thing will like ultimately get her voted out because I do think like this kind of goes against my original point, but like for like especially like the first tribal council, like if you're the first tribe to go or even like the second tribe to go, you really are like grasping at anything, any reason I feel to vote a person out. And that could be like if Chrissy were to go to tribal council first, she might have been the first person voted out because they're like, well, no one's really done anything yet, but Chrissy is kind of irritating right now. But, you know, now that they're a little bit deeper in and a few people have been voted out, I think that they're starting to think, okay, like we need to start thinking about more than just like who's being annoying. So,
Well, you know, Jonathan had D on the chopping block on the first episode. We got to vote somebody out. I'm looking at D. So D might be thinking that somebody's not going to vote her out, but they looking at these previous players, especially the winners, as options. And like anything is going to get you on the chopping block.
Yeah.
So, but right now, helping somebody because they got cramps, I don't think that's going to be it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think, I don't know. I feel like most people, like, on a season like this, because it's so different, are going to be like, oh, it's not going to be me. There's bigger targets out there. And I feel like that's kind of a little bit in the back of people's minds, but it's like everyone is a target. When everyone has played the game before and everyone has a certain set of skills, everyone's a target.
absolutely.
There's nothing you can do about that.
Absolutely. They're all out there for a reason. But let's move on to the immunity challenge. So we had this kind of like run into the woods situation. They had to untie a big heavy snake and navigate it through a couple obstacles. And then they had this snake puzzle where they had to land a ball in a slot. Did we like this challenge? What did we think overall?
I liked it.
Suffering. I love suffering. If it's suffering, I'm all about it. But here's the crazy part. Again, we get to pick who does what part of the challenge. So, Big Snake, Jonathan goes out first. Get your teams the lead. Okay, great. Got that. Whoever's next keeps the lead. So I was kind of surprised that they were so close at the end, but I love a good physical obstacle. I don't know if I think they kind of shortened some things. Like crawling up under the net didn't look as long. It definitely wasn't muddy and dirty as it was.
It was like straight sand. It wasn't like
I didn't want no straight sand.
Right.
I talked to the architect of the games when I was in Miami for the cafe, and they were like, "Yeah." I said, "Hey, if there's no way that mud is on Fiji, didn't see it nowhere." He said, "No, we make it." Yeah. So that's why it sticks on you like the way it is. Also, it's not gonna get you sick or anything like that because it's not, mixed up with anything. Yeah. But Jonathan performed as a beast. The rest of them was in there, but I don't know if I'd have picked the people at the end to do the string. I might have switched somebody out. Actually, I thought Rizzo and them was gonna die. I thought they was losing.
I did too after they were like all caught up.
I predicted ahead of the episode that they would lose. So I wanted to be right, not that I wanted them to lose, but I love when I get a prediction correct on the pre-show.
Wait, you predicted Rizzo was gonna lose, or you predicted
Rizzo.
Yeah, I was even when they got there and they couldn't get it down, I said, that's it, that's a wrap. Rizzo playing the challenge like you normally do.
I'm like fully convinced, like after coming on this podcast, that like whenever I predict something, like even though it's already happened, that like I'm cursing that individual because every single winner pick I've ever had has been like one of the first few out. And like anytime I'm like, oh, this person's like gonna win the individual immunity, or like this tribe is gonna win, they always lose. I don't know what it is. I think I just like am really awful at choosing, but like now I'm like scared for this season. Like whenever people ask me who my winner pick is, like I just lie because like I don't want my winner to pick to like get
who's your winner pick? Who's your winner pick?
Yeah, who is your winner pick this season?
I'm not telling you.
Did we know?
Oh, you don't want to jinx it.
I don't want to jinx it.
Who's your runner-up winner pick? That can only jinx the runner-up. Just in case yours get voted out.
D. I love D. I love her. And she's a winner. She won, but I just love her.
Yeah, she's amazing. I love her too.
I want to meet her at some point. Somewhere.
She came in. Well, I've met D a few times, but we talked to her down in Miami.
I wish I could have gone.
I know, me too.
She was cool. My niece is down there in college, and I introduced her to D and Sophie.
Aw, that's so fun. Oh, I loved Sophie last season. She's amazing.
I love her.
Yes, she's the best. Well, Avery, did you like this, like having to navigate the ball with two other people, or would you have rather seen one person navigate?
I enjoyed it for just like because I love to watch a little argument. Like I love to watch a little like getting irritated with each other. If it were me out there, I would just want it to be one person. But that's because I would want to avoid being like, yo, pull the string, pull the string, pull the string. Like that would stress me out so bad. So I would want it to be just me. But like for watching it as a viewer, I kind of liked it. I kind of liked the three. I thought it was fun because like, I don't know. I think it's fun.
I
think,
also liked it. Oh, go ahead.
I thought Jonathan, Coach, and Charlie was an odd mix.
Yeah.
A little bit. You're right.
Yeah, because it's in for this game. Well, because we did the Matthew, since he's not here, he cheated me. He told me he didn't say I was stacking it the right way. He didn't tell me, but it's a touch, and touch and communication might be a problem between Jonathan not being able to pull so hard, Coach listening, but they overcame it, and then the opposite happened with Sari and Sari and them is like the communication and the touch wasn't there. Rizzo and them, I was like, I thought they was out of it. But you notice you ain't see Q on there. He wasn't on that board, so got to know where your strengths are at.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Credit to Q for knowing. I feel like he does like step up for things that he is truly good at. And I'm just like loving him this season. I think he was like the best casting choice. So that's just like a little side note opinion from me. But you know what I liked about this challenge and the three people being at the end specifically is I don't love when it comes down to just one person, like how one person was like doing the ring toss, even in the reward challenge. Like then like, or if it's like one or even two people on the puzzle at the end, then like that one or two people are like the obvious target in a lot of cases. And it's like that person is like just like an easy scapegoat for a lot of people. And with it being three different people, and for it to be like a very unique skill set of like having to pull the string and communicate, it's not really like someone sucks at this challenge and like messed up and they're be lost. I kind of like it for that reason personally. Now, obviously, I'm with you, Avery. Like, it would be really frustrating if I were out there and I was like knowing what needed to be done, and the person next to me is just like unable to put that level of tension that I need them to, or whatever.
Pull that string. Pull that string.
You said what?
Pull that string. I told you not to pull it. Hold it.
Especially like communicating with two people at the same time, and like also being stressed because like you want to win. Like I wouldn't know like who is talking to me, if they're talking to me or if they're talking to whoever's next to me. Like that's like I did enjoy that too though. Like I think that like it makes it a little bit harder. I mean, obviously it's harder than like if it was just you because like you're with two other people, but like also the communication.
The one thing I would recommend getting rid of, look, if they already got fired, taking their flint is not gonna make a difference in their day. Look, we had one tribe that started a fire with some eyeglasses, so they didn't even have flint. So you already know if they got fire because they go over there and tape them. So if they already have fire, for punishment, I'm going to keep your flint. For what? It's not doing anything anyway. We don't need it. We already got fire. And if you know how to maintain a fire.
I thought like when they take your flint, like you cannot have a fire. Like you literally can't.
No. So here's a funny episode off of season 41. The Sean and the Seer. The Seer proceeded to tell and teach Nashawn how to make a fire. You got the embers from the fire right there. Why would you teach him how to make a fire? Just tell him to go get it. So as long as you keep something burning at camp, like a coconut husk, you will always have fire when you get back. It's when you let the fire go completely out, or if it's raining, which once you get voted out, you always pray for rain. I did every day.
How petty of you, Abe.
So did, and it rained a couple of days too. I was happy.
You were probably so happy over at Ponderosa.
It was thunder and lightning. I was celebrating. And when they came out the game, they was filthy. And I was like, more filth to you.
I love that. We love some petty moments over here. Keep it coming.
Oh, I was petty.
I would be too.
Oh, absolutely. Everybody would. Like, come on. I give you actually credit for hoping the worst for them, because I feel like people wouldn't, like other people wouldn't be honest about that. Like,
honestly,
Yeah.
I see myself as like a very nice person. I do. But like considering the fact that like I've been applying since I literally turned 16 and was like first allowed to apply and like apply like every other month. If I finally get on there and then I'm out, I'm gonna be praying for rain too. I'm gonna be praying for the
I'm
I'm
so
praying
with
for
you.
worse. Because like I didn't just put in effort all of these years to try to get on this show for you guys to mess with me. Like, I would for sure be petty out there. I mean, even still playing the game, and I would hope I wouldn't get voted out. That's never gonna happen for me.
Well, we love petty moments. Like I said, keep them coming. I love honesty over here at the pod.
Yeah,
But, you know,
I'm sorry, but you're
before-
reflective. I mean,
What?
when you get voted out, yeah, you're tired. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but then when you get time to start thinking about it, all you do is replay it until. So the way it's set up is that person that get voted out goes back to Ponderosa. So then you're waiting for the next player to arrive that night of the voting. So you got to skip a day. Then the next time people voted out. So all day, you know somebody's coming that night. You just don't know who it is. At that point, you're just hoping somebody else got voted off your tribe. One, you want to figure out how you got voted out.
Mm-hmm.
Two, you just happy they got voted out. So
another honest moment, you know, but did you also like not want to see those people? Because you're like, yes, I want to be voted out, but I don't want to hang out with you here at Ponderosa.
it's a double-edged sword. You want to talk to them, but you really want to choke the shit out of them.
I love it.
Because now you're out of the game and they're out of the game and they didn't listen to you. So it's like, for me, I was like, hey man, here's our plan. Let's just win the challenges and make it to the merge. One of my players like, well, that's not a plan. What kind of plan would you like? We can't do anything until after the merge anyway. So we want to go into the merge with the numbers. What we didn't realize, or what they didn't know, is the women had already planned the plan for us and they was picking us off. The only thing that saved Xander was that they did the thing and the other tribe lost because he couldn't vote. He didn't have a vote at next tribal council. So he didn't say that little phrase. So he didn't have the ability to vote. So he would have been voted out. And it's like, but by circumstances, he didn't get voted out. Next thing they have the merge. But if you go back to the merge feast and you see Tiffany sitting next to Danny, Danny says, I can't work with you. You voted out all the guys. So it's an interesting experience once you get back to Ponderosa, because now you're back. We don't have to not talk. We can talk. We can communicate. We can have a drink. And you're just sitting there waiting.
Well, at least I'm sure it gets to be more and more fun when some of those people show up and, you know, maybe you bury the hatchet for a little bit while you get to have a drink and a cheeseburger with them. That sounds pretty nice. Or maybe not. Maybe you just do that by yourself the whole time. Anyway, everyone, before we get to Tribal Council, we are going to take a quick break and hear from our friends at Bracketology.
Welcome to Bracketology, fantasy sports for reality TV. If you haven't heard of us, we run fantasy football and bracket-style games for some of your favorite reality TV shows, Survivor included. Here's a quick tutorial on how you can play for free or play to win potentially some cash prizes. Our free-to-play season-long leagues operate just like fantasy football. You're going to want to play Bracketology with friends. You can create a league, make it public or private, or join one of our many partner public leagues. We even have a fantasy football-specific style game called the Advanced Game. You draft a team of contestants each week. Depending on what they do and say during the episode based on a predetermined list of rules is how your fantasy team earns points. We have 2 weekly elimination-style games, Confidence Pool and Week to Week. In Week to Week, you're just dropping a contestant from your lineup that you think is going to get eliminated. In Confidence Pool, you rank how confident you are that each castaway will survive elimination at Tribal Council. The more confident you are, the higher the points that you'll ascribe to them. If you think they're going to go home, drag them to the bottom of your lineup. Our last free-to-play style game is a first impression bracket. Watch the first few episodes of the season, make your picks of who you think will get eliminated at each tribal all the way down to the winner. If you just want to play for fun, for free, our free-to-play games are for you. But there are other ways you can just play for fun social play in our new daily prediction pools. Each week, we'll have a few different contests that you can enter with one of our 2 currencies. Coins or bucks? Coins are just for fun social play. You can climb our social coins leaderboard and see where you rank against other reality TV superfans. Or you can enter a pool with bucks. Once won from our pool contests are redeemable for real cash prizes. The more questions you answer correctly, the higher you'll be on the pool leaderboard and the bigger the payout that'll hit your bracketology wallet. Shout out to the Survivor Now crew. They've been supporting us from the beginning of our Survivor fantasy game journey. Download the Bracketology app for free in the App Store and create those fantasy leagues before the premiere of Survivor Season 50. Thank you, Survivor Now, and thank you everyone for participating.
I think one of my persons got voted out on Bracketology tonight. I gotta go back and check.
Oh, who? Do you know who?
I think I took Savannah.
Oh, dang, Abe. That's okay.
Yeah.
I took Jenna last week. I was like so confident that she was gonna
It's
make
like 6 players. Is it 6 or 8? 8 picks.
I think it's 6. I think it's 6.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. It's fun though to pick people each week. So everybody, if you're interested, go to Bracketology, download the app, and see what they've got going. They got so many good things, but we have a Survivor Now Bracketology like group going, and so definitely think about making some picks for next week. Anyway, so before we get to Tribal Council, we get back to the beach, and Christian and Devins have a conversation. There's a lot of conversations going on. Joe and Devins have a conversation. Savannah's talking to some people. Cerie's going around trying to make sure it's not Ozzy. And so there's a lot of talk. But I wanted to start by talking about Christian and Devins' conversation about the boomerang idol. And Devins has this idea to plant this note at Tribal Council and pretend that it is an idol of some kind. Now, what do we think about this? Smart? Do we think people are going to like suss it out right away? What do we think?
To me, Rick, he's not the. I mean, for me, they sent me Rick Devins' audition tape to create my audition tape. So that was my first. I had seen Rick Devins play, but I was like, oh, I got to put together this 5-minute tape. They sent me 3 different people, and Rick Devins was one of them. His gameplay is different in this season here. Him and Joe, and they're not wanting to play with Joe because Joe wants to play basically a stand-up type of game. I'm a little surprised at Joe's vocalness to the baggage that he's carrying from his previous season of Survivor. That he's just openly saying that he's scarred from different Camilla and Kyle's and what they did to him in the last season. And how they want to try to play with him, but it's a lot of things going on. But this is the difference between returnees and just a regular season. Cerie is the master manipulator. I'm gonna be on her side. But Kristen and Kristen's play is a little different. But Rick Devins, I don't know if he's just wilding out or he just want to make stuff happen, or I don't get his gameplay right now. So I'm trying to figure out how he's playing this game.
I agree with that. I did think it was funny though. Cerie was like, "Oh my god, he did what? On Survivor, he lied? No way!" I'm like, I was cracking up at that. I was like, "You're funny. Like, you're funny for that one." That's I mean, it is funny. Like, obviously, like you go on Survivor, people are gonna be lying to you. Like, they're going to lie to you.
It's always a surprise on Survivor that somebody be like, "Oh, you lied?
Why are you lying?" Like, that's the whole. That's the game. Like, I'm. Of course, I'm gonna lie to you.
Exactly.
They had some good editings leading up to the Tribal Council. It was some good editings because I thought they was gonna vote Joe out. Really, once they actually was going to Tribal Council, I didn't know who was gonna get voted out. All I know is Cerie got the advantage from Ozzy for the extra vote, which I didn't see which way that was going to be used or who it was going to use on because they didn't say anything. The best part of the thing is Cerie telling him, wait a minute, let's lay out this. Here's the people that we could vote out: Joe, Ozzy, or Savannah. And then she was like, I let them think what they wanted to think, or I let them think what I want them to think. And all she did was lay them names out. And guess what?
Yeah. I mean, hey, good on her for protecting her person. I mean, I'm shocked at how easily swayed, I don't know if swayed is the right word, but just like how easily everybody listens to Suri and how easily she's able to deflect the vote off of herself or her closest allies. I'm just shocked that she's able to do that with a returnee season where like everybody knows her.
I already know.
Everybody knows how strategic this woman is. She is a gamer. She is dangerous. She and Ozzy together are even more dangerous. Like, I'm just shocked that this has worked for a second week in a row when I think the clear vote last week was Suri, and I think that Ozzy would have been a very good pick this week because they have an easy shot at him right now when like they may not have that same shot in the future. They don't really know that because they don't really know like his advantages and stuff. But anyway, I just find that very interesting. But Devin's idea to plant the clue at
that was ingenious. I'll give him credit for that.
You said what?
That was ingenious.
Yeah, no, I liked that idea. Like, I think that I agree with what you all were saying that like I don't know what Devins is trying to do. Like, obviously, yes, he's trying to make relationships with the people that he knows that he can work with or feels like he can work with. So that's Christian and that's Emily. But like in terms of like what he was trying to do with Joe at the water well, like, Joe was in the right when he confronted him and was like, if it's true that the conversation was about working with me, why were you acting so sketchy? Like, I didn't really get that. I didn't really get what he was going for. Why was he being so shady? I don't know. Like, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Joe's approach is different. Joe is definitely playing different this time.
Yeah.
Than the season he was on with Kyle and them. Because I'm like, he called out Rick Devins. And Rick just didn't really have an answer. He just went from sketchy to sketchy. Yeah. And it's like, now you got an argument. In Survivor, you gotta kind of deal with those situations and squash those arguments. And I think he did a good job of starting tribal council out and saying, hey, this is what happened. Yeah. You know, but it definitely put him on there to chop and block a little bit. I'm not really sure which way Emily goes or who is the guiding force behind her vote. Mm-hmm. But if I was Chris and Rick Devins, I'll be like, who are y'all playing with? Because we already know Sheree and Ozzy are playing together. Right. And I think Sheree would have a better chance of bringing in Joe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kristen was going like, hey, we're gonna have people go talk to him all day. Nobody wants to talk all day. Some people going to be asleep. So I think Joe has to calm down a little bit. But which I like to give a shout out to Joe for being in the Tyler Perry movie playing a firefighter. Bing, 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 bing. Yeah. But it's interesting that Joe does have some PTSD from this season.
Oh yeah.
And it is manifesting itself in every confessional.
Well, I think Joe is also like kind of a paranoid player. Like, we saw in his original season that, like, I think he started to recognize that, like, I think it was, like, David that was starting to kind of, like, think about voting him out, or some people were maybe, like, starting to turn on him. He just, like, gets very paranoid very easily, and he wants to get rid of whoever's, like, doing that to him. Now, I'm glad that this time he was self-aware enough to be like, well, emotional Joe would want Devins out for, you know, acting the way he's acting. But you know, strategic game player Joe knows that I can't play with my emotions and I probably should figure out what the group is doing. That was better gameplay on his part. But I think ultimately, like, what had to have gone into, like, the players' decisions, like, he was obviously a potential target this episode, but if it really did come down to, like, him and Savannah and Ozzy, obviously was also a name in people's mouths, but like, if it really was, let's say, like, people were thinking, should we go Savannah? Should we go Joe? I think what people were probably thinking is, like, yes, Joe is, like, kind of being a little chaotic and paranoid. But unfortunately, sorry to Joe, like, they haven't really seen a strategic game from him. They just know that he's, like, kind of an emotional guy. He might be, like, a little chaotic around the beach. But Savannah, they don't know her gameplay. And she already, like, shows – like, I don't know, she's very, like, cunning. She's very smart. She's very, like, charismatic. And I think they probably see that already. And we're like, We also know that she won her season, so
I
maybe
wouldn't have told that.
they're gone.
I'd have lied, and I'd have told Rizzo to lie. Because I'd have been like, Rizzo won.
You would have lied about that? You don't
All
think
day
that
long.
would come back out? Like, do you think that lie would come back around to bite you?
The one person that says she won her season and she had to get some type of blood on her hand after she told them she won already got voted out last tribal council. So they know I did something to get on this season here. They just didn't know what I do. Here's the thing about it is everybody that was the winner has Kyle was the only one that they didn't target. It was like, hey, we're gonna get Kyle out. The rest of them, D name already been thrown out there. Savannah name was thrown out there. I just think that with this particular tribe that just needed somebody to throw out, because Emily really is no threat right now. So she got a low threat level. So they're not gonna vote her out. Rick and Kristen, they did together. So that's 2. Ozzy and Sarita together, that's 2. Joe just trying to figure out where he fits at. The only person that was left was Savannah.
Yeah.
And then it makes it easy. You be like, well, you just won $1 million last week. Tossing you out now ain't gonna make a difference. I was surprised to see her name, everybody unanimously vote for her. Because I was like, what was that in the edit? Because it didn't show that she was gonna be the pick. It was either gonna be Ozzy or Joe to me. And I was like, oh, they came up and said she got picked to get voted out.
One thing that I'm curious about y'all's thoughts on, because obviously I'm a huge fan of like the people who are really good at challenges. Those that we all know that's who I love most. But I am curious as to like what you guys think is gonna happen. And like we can get obviously more into it later, but I've been wanting to ask you guys this, even though it has nothing to do with today's episode. Sorry. But but do y'all think that there's a possibility of people wanting to throw a challenge to get them out if it's too close to the merge?
I wouldn't say, I mean, never say never. However, I do think that a lot of these players, they're out there to play. And I think that unless you are so like confident that somebody on your tribe is going to just be so bad for your game going into like a merge and you haven't been to tribal yet and you just need to like start playing the game, unless that becomes so clear, which it might. I think that these people are out there to play, and like when you are such strong gamers and you like are asked to come back on Survivor 50, I don't personally think that these are the types of players that are throwing challenges. But again, never say never.
I don't see where any one tribe has a dominant number to throw a challenge to vote somebody's out right now. I just don't see, and I think these are different players.
Yeah.
These returning players are players, and they want to play the win. So I don't see. Well, there's one player that he might throw a challenge, but I ain't gonna call his name out. So the rest of them, the only player I think, hey, Rizzo.
But
one
that
day I'm
might
gonna
not be on purpose.
One day I'm gonna meet Riz, and I'll be like, hey man, I'll be like, hey man,
throw a challenge.
he's a great person in person. I know how Survivor can be, but I just don't think it's like, for instance, we know the swap is coming next episode, which is exciting. These are 3 players that I will never want to see play together in this season: Coach, Jonathan, and Joe.
I agree.
I don't want to see none of them on the same tribe together.
Spot on.
Because they all trying to play the same type of loyalty to the end type of game.
Yeah.
And I think one more player with them, they will be a dominant force for this season.
I agree.
I don't want to see none of them together. I need some chaos. Rick Devins, straight chaos. Christian is a low-key chaos player. D is chaotic. D said, I'm cutting everybody's throat. So get your knife ready.
I think he's taking it far, because I think that, except like we saw obviously Savannah get voted out, but I think that like Kyle was never a target. Yes, they brought up D as like a potential target if they were to go to tribal council early.
Yeah.
But we don't know if her name is still coming up, and she's already made like some strong connections. So I think she's gonna go further than we might think. because I mean, Savannah didn't even really get voted out because she was a winner. That wasn't like the first and foremost reason.
Yeah.
So I think we see Dee go far, and I'm excited for that. But that's just like a little separate note.
I love her. No, good note. I like that
I
note.
know. I love her too. She's amazing.
I like to give an honorable mention to Tiffany.
Yes.
She was in this episode. She did
She
perform.
Mhm.
But we didn't know she didn't get to edit. So
I love her too.
some people they just don't even get in this episode. You be like, were they in this episode? And Tiffany, like, she must have put some time in before she got out there because she's looking ripped. So Tiffany, shout out to you. So far, this has been a very interesting 50 episode 2. Because Q posted earlier, oh, if you thought episode 1 was good, this is gonna be even better. Not sure about that part.
It wasn't better than episode 1. It was good though. I mean, it was a solid episode.
Yeah.
Well, getting back into it, we see tribal council go down. They're talking. We see how the votes play out. Any final thoughts from either of you about tribal council? Like, did anything stick out? Were you surprised by the vote? Anything to wrap that up?
I wasn't too surprised by it. I did think Emily's face was kind of funny though when she was yapping and Emily just like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? I love her, so I thought that was a funny little moment.
That was
I know it's hard for Savannah because it's she experienced what all the other players experienced last season, getting voted out, having to take that walk down that trail, but to be able to come back and play again, and especially in such a short time period, I would have loved to see Savannah play longer.
Yeah.
I thought she had what it take. But again, these tribes and the way they made them up, it's just a matter where you landed at on some of these tribes. And she just landed on a tribe that, if I had to say it, she should have landed on a tribe that Cherie wasn't on.
Yeah.
She should have landed on one of the other tribes. I think she would have fared better because the gameplay and the level of gameplay is different from her season with the veterans that are coming back that's playing. So it was great seeing her out there playing. I understand, hey, it's emotional. You're gonna get that ride back, and you don't get to be a part of the jury. You're not gonna be in that part of it.
Yeah.
But she still played to come back and play so soon. She still played a hell of a game because if you go back to that challenge, I don't know who's the underwater camera guy, but she jumped in the water. I was like, they got mermaids?
Yeah.
She swam down there. I was like,
wait a minute. That. You're right.
Yeah. So they made it seem like Jonathan was drowning. He dove in and he was like, he didn't come up yet.
And deep, like Avery said earlier.
Now, I will tell the fans out there that are applying for Survivor, you do not see the underwater divers. They not right there. You dive in that water, because I was looking. I ain't see nobody.
So it is worrisome then. It's not just for the viewers to be worried about. It's also for the players.
No, I mean, you dive in and you look around, but you kind of like, because we had to dive off the boat. So you dive in the water, and there's people down there. You just can't see where they're at. So you ultimately got to go swimming. So you got to get back up. So
me personally, I would freak out. My one thing, like my biggest fear of like if I ever go on Survivor, is someone where like they have the cage over you and you're like trying to like.
Oh yeah, but you can just swim out. You can be like, I'm done.
But I don't. But obviously, I just wouldn't want to give up. But I can get out.
You better get. If you can't breathe, you better get up. Once that water hits you,
that one looks fun, but I do agree. Like there might be moments of like, am I going to drown? Like, am I going to be able to swim out? Like, what if something happens? Yeah, there's probably those thoughts in your head, or almost like a feeling similar to like claustrophobia too, in a way.
Yeah,
a challenge like that. Anyway, well. We're sad to see Savannah go. She was a great winner. We saw her obviously like win the most recently. And so, super upsetting, but I guess it made sense for that tribe. And I do think it was the correct choice. I also was thinking like, poor Jenna. I feel kind of bad for Jenna because if she would have just kept her mouth shut for a little bit longer, I think Savannah would have been the first vote out. Like, I think they probably like would have come together and voted her out first if Jenna hadn't said Cerie's name so early on. So I guess that's a little thing. Sorry.
Jenna said on social media that Kristen said her name. She didn't. She just repeated it.
Actually, I did hear that. Yeah, I forgot about that. Anyway, before we wrap things up, I do want to do some predictions for next week. Now, we're obviously getting a tribe swap, so it could make things a little trickier to make these predictions. But I do want to hear who everybody thinks is getting voted out next. Does anyone want to go first?
Ooh, it's dicey. I mean, we don't know what tribe they're going to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at this because I can see their tribes up here, and I'm like, oh man, who would I vote out in a tribe swap? I'm just gonna throw an arbitrary name out there. This has no bearings on him being voted out. I'm gonna say Charlie.
Okay.
All right. That's
Just
not
a
a bad
random
pick.
name.
That's not a
Just
bad
a random
pick.
name.
That's not bad. I could see Rizzo, I'm not gonna lie. If he's with one or two people from his original tribe, I could see that happening. I could see him being like okay, we just tribe swap, we want to get to know everybody, but we already know he lazy, so let's just get him off. I could see that happening.
You better not go with Q then.
Yeah, I said Rizzo this week. That was the name that I also had in mind for next week, just because, like, what you just said, like, if he ends up with somebody from his tribe that he started out with, like, they were already kind of looking at him like, we could work with this guy, but he's also, like, lazy. He's not that good in challenges. Like, we don't know if we're, like, really going to vibe with him for that long because of all these things that are kind of rubbing us the wrong way. And then also, even if he doesn't end up with some of those people that were noticing those things, I think that the problems that he's having, I was about to say challenges. The challenges that he's having in challenges, being, like, not great at them, I think that that's going to be a problem no matter where he goes. So I think that if they're looking for a reason to vote somebody out, that is a reason. And then finally, with Rizzo, I think that just kind of what I've been saying about Savannah, like, if it's between him and somebody else, they might be thinking, like, we don't really know how he did on his season or what he did to get here on 50, but it had to have been something great if he was asked back. So we don't know this guy. He's not great at challenges. Let's just get rid of him. So I'm going to say Rizzo as well.
I will say this right here. Rizzo has ultimate confidence in Rizzo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'll be like, well, he got confidence. He ain't gonna worry about. You'll never have to worry about him being unconfident because he has all kind of confidence in himself. It just doesn't translate into his gameplay. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we will see what happens. I'm excited for this swap. And I don't know. Do we know if it's going to be 2 tribes or 3 tribes, everyone?
I hope it's 3 tribes. I don't want to. I think 2 is going to be too big. I want it to be 3 because you have 2, 4, 6, 8 players. So they've only lost 4. Yeah, they only lost 4 players.
Yeah, it would be 11 people per tribe if it was 2 tribes. I kind of want that, but I kind of agree. It might be a lot to keep track of because already 8 people per tribe is already kind of a lot to keep track of. I'm noticing, like, I'm not used to it. So yeah, I guess we will see. I'm so excited though. Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. And if you liked today's episode, come back next week. I'm not usually here on the after show, unfortunately, but I do love yapping with these guys. So sometimes I make an appearance every now and then. So come back on the after show, come back on the pre-show. But before we even get to next week, we have so many other things coming up. We have Survivor Social tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern time with myself and Kara. And we're going to talk all about people's social games. We're going to crown social butterflies, like people that did super well socially, in our opinion. And we're going to have all kinds of other fun conversations along the way. So tune in for that if you're interested. We've got Survivor Stopwatch at 1 p.m. on Friday with Will and Josh. And then on Sunday, we've got Something For You. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, come on in, leave some comments. We love to hear from all of you. Sometimes we give people shout outs and stuff like that. Tell us all about how our hot takes are too hot. But I guess that's all. That's going to wrap us up. Until next time, everyone, Abe and Avery, thank you so much for joining me, and we'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.
Survivor forever.
Forever.